Episode 2, Introduction to Markets, a preface to face-to-face.
Hi, I'm Jade.
And I'm Ellie,
And this is Really Fucking Trying.
a podcast where we talk about the ins and outs and ups and downs of running a small business and being creative. In this episode, we're going to give you a little introduction to markets. We think we'll end up doing a few market episodes because it's just such a big part of both of our businesses. But today we're going to talk about our first markets, how we find markets to apply for, and what we think the pros and cons of selling face-to-face are. I think market episodes are always going to feel a little bit special for me because we met at a market. We didn't really meet.
We did.
Well, no, I just sort of thrust myself on
Yeah,
you.
you made us meet.
Yeah.
You
Didn't give you any
You,
choice.
I feel like, like sometimes people, when they talk about how they met someone, they'll be like, oh, and then we made friends. Where we didn't do that. You were just part of me all of a sudden.
Sorry about that.
No, it was nice. I liked it. We didn't have to do the butter and stuff.
No, we did. No, do you know what? The second time I met you, I was like perfectly comfortable.
I was
with
like,
you.
oh, there's my best friend Ellie.
No, but it wasn't it? It was just, there was no. It was like, okay, we're friends now.
Yeah,
Great.
I've never felt awkward with you.
Oh, I love that. Okay, should we move on? And
Yeah,
not
let's
talk
actually
about
talk
this?
about markets.
So I think the reason that we put this as like second episode is this is like, I mean, there's a lot of things you and me have in common. There's also a lot of things we do differently, but I think we're both in agreement that markets is quite a big part of both of our businesses, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree.
And like, how long have you been doing them now?
Since like 2018.
Really?
I stopped for COVID, obviously.
Yeah, yeah. See, my first one was 2021. Now, I'm not like you. I don't do them like every weekend.
Yeah.
But for me, I do really enjoy. I like being able to see and meet who's buying me stuff.
Who's your audience?
Yeah, who's my audience? But also meeting other traders has been like such. I think that's probably led to this and seeing that there is a gap for something like this.
Yeah, because no one knows what the fuck they're doing.
No, it's not even that. Do you know, it's just a common ground, as I said in the last episode, isn't it? It's just like, it's a weird life that you choose for yourself, but there's a bit of, it's always for the good. Even the bad is for the good.
Yeah, like even like shit markets that you've done.
Yeah.
You got something
like,
out of it.
Oh, God, yeah. I don't think there's any market actually that I've done ever
That you regret.
in 4 years now where I've gone, I really wish I hadn't even fucking bothered at all.
Yeah.
There's always something, and some people, it seems to be one or the other as well. Some people seem to really enjoy markets and it's part of their business, and some people seem to absolutely hate them and will do anything to avoid them.
Yeah, loads of people just sell online.
Yeah.
And they don't do markets at all. But I'm a money grabbing bitch, so.
No, there's no right or wrong. No, you're not. There's no right or wrong though,
there
either.
isn't.
It's just what
Your
works
business is
for
your
you and your
business.
business. Yeah, and I think that's the interesting thing as well. You know, no two people are the same.
Yeah.
Something that works great for you might not work great for me, and the other way around, you know. But
this episode isn't just for the market doers.
no, it's not
It's
at all.
also
I
for the
don't
market
think.
don'ters.
Yeah.
Because you might learn a little bit. It might solidify you never wanting to do markets.
Yeah.
But it might go the other way. It might sway you.
Yeah.
It just gives you a little perspective.
Yeah, and what to expect, what to do.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, and talk about things that we were really sceptical of beforehand.
Yeah,
and
scared of. So my first experience of a market was, as I mentioned in episode 1.
If you haven't listened to episode 1, some of the things that we are saying in this episode might not make sense, so why don't you just go back and give it a little
Tune
listen.
in. Anyway, so as I mentioned in episode 1, my first experience of a market was we went on like a school trip to the Manchester Print Fair when I was at uni, and that really opened my eyes to like products generally, because at the time I was just drawing. I didn't know what to do with that drawing, so I think going to that really helped me in my career because it gives you an idea of what you can actually do. So then the first market that I did as a trader was also when I was in uni. It was Manchester Print Fair. I shared a stall with my friend from uni because neither of us had enough stock to fill a table. I didn't even have enough stock to fill half a table really, but I just kind of knocked some stuff up, like the work that I'd done for uni I made into some products quickly.
Yeah.
And then we did it, and I actually had a really good time, and I sold loads of stuff, even though in my opinion now I'd be like my work was shit then, but art is subjective.
Yeah.
And people bought it and I thought it was incredible. So I really, really enjoyed that. And then obviously after uni I didn't really do art for years, and then I got back into markets and I did them all over the country. But then when COVID hit, obviously I had to take a break from all of that, and then I got back into it after COVID, and now I just do them locally now really.
Yeah.
So what was your first?
Mine was, I feel like it's a hard one to explain, this one, because I remember remember talking about the first episode, that sort of time of, you know, from college, uni into real life. I was just trying to get as much sort of inspiration and ideas about where it could take me as possible. I was in a studio as well with 10 other artists, and obviously they were much further ahead than I was.
Yeah.
But quite a few of them, again, it was like this weird divide of like for the markets and anti-market.
Yeah.
But I'd say it was definitely leaning towards more anti-market.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I sort of went in with sort of the vibe that I could hate this. But I'd rather have thought like that than thought, you know, than have my hopes up too high and be disappointed.
Set your expectations low.
But I do remember Pop Up at the Palm House, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I remember going there for, I think it was the summer market. I remember just going in there and seeing all these traders, and some of them weren't much older than I was at the time. And I just remember thinking like, oh my God, their setup looks so good.
Yeah.
They look so professional. Do you know what I mean? And just, again, like that feeling of sort of being in awe of somebody and like having these role models.
Yeah.
And it was still that time that I was getting into using Instagram and things like that. So it was, I think it was a really positive impact on me to have these people, these businesses.
And it kind of like set you almost like a goal, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, and it did. Yeah, because I remember going to my dad's after we left Pop Up at Palm House. I remember going, that'd be me one day.
Yeah, that's so cute.
Still haven't traded at Palm House, but
one day.
It's a lovely venue.
Keep the goal alive.
Yeah, keep the goal. Yeah. And that was just sort of that. And basically, round COVID time, it would have been slightly after, I think, I got a message on Instagram randomly from Warrington Market. And they were like, we host this young traders competition. It's run by National Market Trader Federation. Would you like to do it? I still had no proper stock at that point. So I couldn't, you know, just couldn't full stop. But I said, maybe one day. I think I said, could you consider me for next year, please? And next year came around, and at that point, I had prints.
Yeah.
I had prints and I had greeting cards, and sent me the same message about them. I said, do you want to sign up for Young Traders?
That's cute that they remembered.
I know, and I looked into it, and I did a bit of research about National Market Trader Federation and the Young Traders competition. And basically, it is a competition which is slightly unnerving at the start, but it's free. And you can enter between the ages of 16 and 30, and they will offer you a free spot at a market.
Oh, wow, okay.
So the market Young Traders is just all traders under 30. And there are judges with clipboards that come around and talk to you. No, I know, it's the clipboards that intimidate me. Even now, when I've been doing it, I've been doing Young Traders now for, I think, God, about this will be me 4th year going in.
It's still scary.
Still scary when they come around the clipboard, but I'm so glad I did that now, because that was the best entry into it I could have possibly had. But that being said, in the months leading up to it, and my first ever market, which was at Warrington Market, and that was, I want to say, May 2021, I think. The nerves. Oh my God. Setting up my Etsy shop in October 2020, I remember I was nervous, but nothing compared to that.
Yeah.
It was terrifying. To the point where it was literally all I could think about. I remember having meltdowns in IKEA because I knew I wanted to buy something for my soul, but I didn't know what.
Yeah.
And I remember one morning as well, this would have been a couple of days before, but as I say, it was on my mind constantly. I was so nervous. I had the message drafted out to Warrington Market. I was ready to drop out. And they were very good with me. They did try and keep me head screws on, sort of say, just do it, please. Just do it. You know what I mean? You have nothing lost, nothing gained.
Yeah.
But I remember being so nervous before doing that. There was one morning I got up and I'd gone to put some washing in the washing machine and make myself a cup of coffee. And I ended up putting milk in the washing machine and fabric softener in my coffee. I remember having a swig of this lavender flavoured coffee and thinking, oh my God, Ellie, get a grip. It is not that deep, girl.
Oh my God, I love that.
No, honestly, the nerves before it, to the point where I wouldn't say I'm that emotional at all. Things don't really, they don't get to me too much. I don't get emotional, really. It takes a lot to sort of break us, I think. And I remember there was times when I could have been close to tears because I was just so nervous and so stressed. It's not me at all. I'm making this sound horrible for anyone that's thinking about doing a market, but I think I was just a massive drama queen. But I think the reason that is because I know I am such a perfectionist.
Yeah.
And the thought of that being my business on display out in public for the first time ever. And I thought, if it looks shit, I'm going to want to walk away from it. I'm not going to want to put my name to it.
Yeah, no, I get that. But I've done loads of markets where when I was starting out especially, where you've got there and you've set up and then you thought, fucking hell, mine looks shite compared to everyone else's.
Why would you think that?
Because it looked shite compared to everyone else.
question asked.
No, like when I was starting out and I didn't know what I was doing.
Oh, right, okay. I was
Do
just
you know
going
what
to
I
say,
mean?
yeah.
And I feel like my first few, I was like, I didn't have any stands or anything. I just like laid everything on the table. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or even like that very first one that was talking about, like I had no products.
Yeah, it's hard to know where to start,
Yeah.
I think, because I remember when I was buying things to go on the table, like I say, just having a meltdown, like here, because I was like, I don't actually know why I'm here.
Yeah, but also like, how do you know when you're ready?
Yeah,
like,
you don't.
How much stock are you gonna? Do you know what I mean?
You actually don't.
No.
I don't think you ever
Because
know when
now
you're ready.
we're like fucking years deep into doing markets, and we're still like changing things.
You have to.
So maybe I'm not ready yet. Maybe I've got to wait for the next change. Do you know what I mean? But like,
I think you're ready.
No, but do you know what I mean? Like at some point you made that decision and you were like, now is the time.
Yeah.
But it's still going to change and grow as you carry on.
Yeah, I think it has to as well. I think with your setup and your display.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not always easy to do this because obviously the things that you display your stuff with do cost money and they're often quite expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think to change it up a bit, it stops you getting bored.
Yeah.
And it stops it looking stale. Saying that, I haven't changed my setup now for about a year and a half, but still.
I changed mine quite recently actually because you made me.
Throughout this whole podcast, I sound very forceful.
You do, sorry, I'm not painting you in a good light. No, Ellie is she is forceful, but in the sense that like you know what's best for me. Not forceful like aggressive.
Say it again.
Forceful's not the right word. I don't know what the right word is. Honest. You're very honest and you're very
constructive.
Yeah, you're a good friend in terms of like you'll push me to do the things that you know I want to do, but I'm too scared to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think that's
like
the saddest thing,
like,
though.
If I wasn't doing the podcast with you, I would have took myself out of it. But you've been there to go, no, let's do it. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
You're forceful. No, but in a really good way, in a constructive way, in a way that makes me live my dreams.
I feel like, though, that's always been sort of ingrained in me as well. And I feel like I'd rather do something and look back on a few years' time and go, that was shit.
Yeah.
But at least I tried.
See, I'm quite shy and nervous, so I'm a give up girly.
But I really do hate the idea of looking back and thinking, oh, I wish I'd done that. Whereas to look back and go, oh, I did it.
Yeah.
It was a bit naff, but I did it.
See, I'm the opposite. I let the nerves get to me, like the fabric softener thing that happened to you. That would have been the end for me. I would have pulled out completely. No.
What's worse is, I was like, I tipped my coffee down the sink as well, and I was like, oh, Christ, is averted. And I was like, no.
Oh, no, you washed
wash my clothes with pure semi-skimmed.
Oh, dear. Let's talk about applications. So, applications. I think the application itself is usually very easy.
Yeah, it is easy.
So, I think the actual application process for most markets is generally the same.
Yeah, it is. It's always the same questions as well.
It's what do you do? How do you do it? What's your business? They're all the same question, really.
Are you insured?
Yeah. It's that. It's a formality, basically.
Yeah.
They just want to know what you make.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't have duplicates in the market, so that kind of thing. But I think it's useful to have a brief description that you can reel off. It's just the same for every application then.
So what I tend to do is I just copy and paste me Etsy bio or something like that.
That's a good idea.
Maybe reword it slightly so it doesn't sound quite so, sort of professional, like aimed at Etsy, because it's not. It's aimed at a market.
Yeah.
Copy and paste that into notes on my phone.
Yeah.
And then I don't have to spend time typing out the same paragraph.
That's a good idea.
I think the only thing that annoys me about market applications, maybe I'm just shit at filling in forms, but it's the time they take.
No, I do agree. Like, I'm really bad at reading. I can read, but I'm bad at I just can't take any information in unless I'm really in the zone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'd say the actual application itself is usually relatively straightforward. The tricky bit of applying for markets is actually finding the markets.
Yeah.
Because where the fuck do you start that?
Well, they're all over the place these days.
They are now,
aren't they? But
I think there's loads of them now compared to when we started.
yeah, but we'll go into that a bit more later, won't we?
So what I do personally is I follow a lot of other people that are like us, other small businesses, and then usually, I know we both do it, you post about your markets.
Yeah, you do.
Just generally, naturally. So most markets I've found have been through that, through other people posting about them, and then you just give that market page a follow, and then I turn on my notifications for them, so I don't miss when they've got applications open, and generally I'd say that's the best way to do it, I think.
Yeah.
How to find markets.
I sign up to their emails, but sometimes they fall into spam, and it's really annoying.
I this is a terrible business trait, but I don't check my emails. Honestly.
I don't check my spam, which I probably should. I check my email every day then.
Do you?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
I've genuinely got 26,000 unopened emails.
But now what do I do? Because now I can't fix
People
that now.
listening to this going, funny that I emailed you 3 years ago and I'm still waiting for a reply.
Message me on Instagram because I will not. I'm not a business girly. I don't check my emails. I know that's dreadful, isn't it?
That is bad.
But now how do I do it?
26,000.
There's no way I can tackle that.
You'll have to get us all around yours one night. We can all take 100 each.
Literally, I just don't know what to do. It's too far gone. I can't go back.
Let's talk about markets, not emails.
Sorry, yeah. So please turn on your notifications. And if it's an important email,
check your spam.
Yeah.
Also, do you know what I found dead handy for finding, I mean very local markets, so like same town. Do you know if you go into like a co-op or like sometimes the big Tesco's have it as well?
Like a notice board?
Yeah, notice board. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way.
And just taking pictures of like the posters and things of like upcoming markets.
There's
and,
always stuff going on.
There is always stuff, yeah. To be fair, I mean, I've stuck to mainly Runcorn markets this Christmas just gone.
Yeah, you did.
And that was great.
Yeah, no travels.
No, just...
Travelling's the worst bit for me.
Tiredness, I think.
Yeah, I do always feel exhausted after market. I think it's because you've got to be on all day.
Yeah.
You can't have a rest.
I like to sort of really be, like, I know what I'm like, I'm not a morning person at all, so if I've got a market that starts at like, say, 9, 10 o'clock, I usually will get up at like 5.
Yeah.
One, so that I can make an effort and look okay.
But then you've got enough time to ease into your day.
Yeah, and it's like you're not groggy anymore,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But you're not
I'm
talking to
groggy all
somebody and be
day.
like,
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I
me
mean?
all day.
You're not. Very bouncy. Very squeaky.
Thanks. Yeah, squeaky is the right word. Yeah, but I think, like, aside from finding markets, like, it's all trial and error as well. Like, you've got to do a market to know if it's good. Like, it's all well and good, like, doing word of mouth, but you could have a market that was shite for you and it'd be great for me and vice versa. It's irrelevant.
Yeah, it actually is.
That's shit to say.
And sometimes I find it's luck of the draw, especially, as I say again, I think I said this in the first episode, if you've got a business that's a bit more niche, which I don't really think you fall into so much.
Do you not?
No, me, I'm for people who like that
Music.
specific. Yeah, you'd have to like that specific musician.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I've never sold a George Michael print and somebody's gone, I absolutely hate him.
Yeah. And as well, I think, like, it's hard because I think you do fall into this category. I only really make work that I like. Like, you aren't going to draw someone that you can't stand.
No,
do you know what I mean?
That's really hard.
So then your customer has also got to have a similar music taste to you, which is quite a narrowed down niche, I think.
Even because I do have quite a lot of prints at this point where the original has been a commission and somebody's asked for it. Yeah. But even then, and it might be somebody that I'm not too familiar with, and that's been the case a few times, I'll make a point to do my research as well, because the idea of going to a market and somebody going, oh, you've got so-and-so, and I know nothing about them. How?
Yeah, imposter.
Yeah, like that's, you know what I mean? You get such an odd vibe, wouldn't you? But my business started very much as like a labour of love. Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I love those musicians. I want to draw them. Yeah. You know what I mean? If other people like it, that's
a really
great.
Cute way to start a business.
No, it's got to be something that you like though, hasn't it? Or you get bored.
Yeah. But I think that's what happened to me. Like I mentioned in the previous episode, when I started, I was drawing things that I just didn't fucking interest me. And then I progressed with the business, and I was like, actually, why am I bothering doing this? Like, do it for you. Yeah. If someone else likes it, that's great. But if you're drawing stuff that doesn't make you happy, then what's the fucking point?
Yeah, you get so bored as well. It was actually a tutor at college that said that to me. He
really?
said, if you don't love it, you're fucked, basically. And I thought, and the older I get, the more I think, oh, he was spot on, actually. He really was.
See, I feel like my tutors gave the opposite vibe. They were like, fucking, it's your job.
Right. We've gone a bit off topic.
We have again. Sorry, we're so naughty. But yeah, trial and error of finding markets. Like, word of mouth is all well and good, as in, like, oh, I didn't know that market existed. Yeah. But just because it was good for someone else doesn't mean it's going to be good for you.
If you're listening to this and you are thinking about starting markets, or that you've, just sort of getting into them, my advice would be go for the cheap ones first, because there's nothing. It's quite soul destroying as well. Because my limit for a table, I don't know about you, but the most I will roundabout pay for a table is probably about 55, 60 quid. Yeah. Anything else of that, I would have to really think about it, I think. Yeah.
So my range is about the same as yours. I've only done one that was a lot over that. And that was a couple of years ago, and it was like a really big market. It was £110 for the tall fee.
Ooh, yeah. For one day? Or?
One day. But they marketed it as it's going to be massive. It's going to have the most customers you've ever seen. It's going to be your best selling. So I obviously scrimped and saved. Like, I don't just have £110 in my back pocket. I don't know about you. Maybe you do.
I have a day job.
All right, yeah, you do. But it was a hard amount of money to get together. Yeah. And especially like when they've got a deadline on how long you can take to pay it.
No, I think even if you're taking in like thousands of pounds worth of profit every single month, I think anyone would have to consider a high store fee like that.
Is that going to be worth it?
Nothing's guaranteed. No. It's just not. No. And so many factors that you can't control.
Exactly. Even as simple as like, oh, it's raining.
Yeah. That's what I meant. Yeah, like
that can massively impact it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, I did it and it was shite. It wasn't.
Moving on.
It was fine. Like, I was underwhelmed.
Do you think, though, because I do this sometimes, you've said there that you've seen the marketing that they've done,
Yeah.
and you'd read it, and you gone, oh my God, this is going
Yeah.
to be amazing. You get your hopes
You
up,
hype
don't
yourself
you?
up for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you've assumed that it's going to be something.
Yeah, you
You've
think, oh, I'm
assumed-
going to make, like,
Yeah, you've assumed
this
it's
is going to make me
be-
millions. And
Yeah, and whereas if they hadn't have put that marketing on it, if they'd have just said, listen, this is just a market.
this is how much
you
we
know,
charge. Yeah.
you probably wouldn't have had those expectations.
No, absolutely.
So
It was fine.
always think the worst
Yeah.
beforehand. That's
I agree, yeah. Being pessimistic is my life motto. If you feel shit about it, you can't be disappointed.
Remember before we started this and I said this podcast needs to stay positive and upbeat and we're just like, always think the
Oh, yeah,
worst.
I do remember that. Sorry. My bad. Starting now, we meant. But yeah, so anyway, yeah, like, obviously it wasn't my worst market. I did sales, I made my stall fee back. Like, there's been loads where I've made fucking, like, literally not a penny.
Really?
Yeah. You've never had 0 days?
To be honest, I have had 1 0 market, but it was a 2-hour market. I think it was more of like a trial thing. So
Right, okay.
I don't know, do we count that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's up to you.
Nah, said
Okay.
no.
No, then you haven't had a 0 day. I've had loads of 0 days. Maybe it says more about me than it does about markets.
You've done loads though, haven't you?
Yeah, to be fair, I have. I feel like I do them more frequently than you do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's just, you've just got to kind of work out who your audience is and
Yeah.
go for that. Like, it's all trial and error. You've got to keep trying.
I've done a few like pop-ups in shopping centres and stuff as well last year, and that went really well.
Yeah.
And like that was again something that I thought, oh,
Yeah.
you know, that could be really hit or miss.
Yeah. But sometimes they're the best ones.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. And it's nice to just even test the waters.
Yeah.
Even if you have a crap day, you can go, okay, well, I tried it.
Yeah.
I know we touched on this before, but I think there are definitely pros and cons, aren't there?
Absolutely. Like, and there's something you can get out of every experience. Like, we would never have met if we hadn't done markets.
Yeah, it's
Do you know what I mean?
loads of friends that I
Yeah,
wouldn't have met had
yeah.
I not been to the market, yeah.
But yeah, pros and cons. So actually, we had a question about that. Someone, well, not for the Q&A, just a general, can you
Oh.
talk about this?
Okay.
So the alt creative wrote in and said, can you please discuss the pros and cons of markets? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go cons.
Okay.
Stall fees,
Yes.
travel fees, giving up loads of your time. It's not just the time that you spend at the market, it's also
Yeah.
the prep time. And then if the market's shit, you've wasted that.
I feel like that more often at Christmas.
Especially if you do Christmas products, which I know you don't really do. I don't really do them that much. I do Christmas decorations, but nothing. Like, I don't do, like, Christmas 2025.
Yeah, yours
'cause then
doesn't
that's...
scream Christmas.
No.
It's just the odd product.
But I think
isn't it?
especially if you do Christmas products, you completely feel like that's wasted then.
Yeah, I can imagine that, yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot of prep time. Obviously, we've both mentioned like anxiety before markets. I know you don't really get that anymore,
No.
but I do. I
Yeah.
don't if I know you're going to be there. I'll feel okay.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I can honestly say that after around about the first maybe 3 markets, the nerves was like completely gone.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Oh no, not for me.
Oh, right.
So for me, it's about like silly things. Like, obviously, I haven't mentioned this yet, but like during COVID, I went from working full time in a job where I was on my feet all day to working from home,
Yeah.
and I now suffer with chronic back pain.
Oh, yeah.
So I can't stand for very long and I can't walk very far. So it's things like that about markets that I panic about. Like on the application,
Yeah.
I always have to say like, oh, can I be relatively close to the entrance if it's a big venue? And I'll panic about like how close can you park
Yeah.
and how I'm going to get there and all sorts of things like that. But the actual event itself, like talking to customers and stuff, I don't get nervous about. But I do get nervous about who I'm going to be next to.
Really?
Yeah, because you sat with them all day. What if it's awkward?
Nah,
I don't think you've ever been awkward with anyone, to be fair. You've never had an awkward moment in your life.
I feel like I'm just one of those, a stranger is just a friend I haven't met.
Yeah, that is literally... That's literally how we met. You were like, hi, do you want to be best friends? And I just thought it was easier to say yeah.
No, but you mentioned them because I'm the same. I remember the first time, because I always had somebody helping me at a market as well, whether it be like a friend or
Yeah.
usually my dad as well.
Yeah.
The first time I ever did a solo one, I do remember being a little bit nervous because there's some jobs that obviously I've got arthritis in my hands
Yeah.
that my hands do not like
Yeah.
at all. And one of them is putting me fucking banner up.
Oh,
Does not like it. I still
no.
sometimes need help to this day. But even now, if I'm at a market and there's people that I don't really know,
Yeah.
I haven't got any problem if someone looks like they're not doing anything.
Help me, please.
Is that really arrogant?
No, it's fine. It's
Help
if you
me,
need
I'm
help.
arthritic.
Yeah, but if you need help, you need help.
Yeah.
And I feel generally, like 99% of people are nice.
Yeah,
Like
I think
1%
so.
will tell you to go fuck yourself.
Yeah,
But everyone else would help you.
Yeah, maybe
I reckon.
90-10, but...
Yeah. Okay, yeah. But yeah, so they're the main cons for me.
And I think for pros, for me, the pros way outweigh the cons.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I wouldn't want to put anyone off by the cons.
Oh, God, no.
Because I think the pros are better.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
I mean, we're still doing it, aren't we? So
Exactly.
We absolutely hated it.
If
we'd
the
have gone
cons
out
were
for
that bad, we'd
yeah.
have stopped.
Yeah. Obviously, the money's nice.
Yep.
But one thing I like networking as well and meeting other business owners.
Yeah. Like we said, like we would never have met.
Yeah,
Loads of our friends we would never have met.
Yeah.
But even that, like even if it doesn't come to like this intense friendship that we have, it's nice just to see like how other traders do things.
Yeah.
What their market store looks like. It's nice to chat about like manufacturers and do you know what I mean? Like just to get a gauge
like,
on someone else's life is nice.
Yeah, it's always just like when you meet another trader, and we said this before as well, you always have a common ground.
Yeah.
You've got such a big thing in common already.
Yeah. Usually it's quite easy to talk to them,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah,
So
I
that's,
find so.
yeah, I do think that's a big thing about doing markets for me. That obviously it's different for you because you work in the studio, but I work from home. So the markets is kind of my only social side of the business.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. So yeah, I really enjoy that about markets.
Yeah.
About meeting people and making friends.
And I find usually a market has a good vibe.
Yeah.
Like even if they've just like got a good playlist on in the
Yeah,
background,
yeah,
I
it makes
enjoy that.
a world of difference. Doesn't it?
Yeah, and like getting your name out there is the best bit of advice I had actually before starting markets, and this was from my old boss that I was working for at the time. She said to me before my first market, because she had done them herself, she said, don't think of it in terms of sales at all. Doesn't matter. She said, think of it as how many business cards you give out, how many people stop, how many people look through your stuff.
Yeah.
And even now, I still carry that 4 years later, even though sales are obviously more important.
Yeah, but it's also important just to get your name out there.
Yeah, it is.
Like, you never know who'll come back and be a customer in the future, or who'll pass it on to a friend.
Yeah,
Or...
I think you have to look for a positive. Like in a bad market, I can go, oh, I didn't do great today.
Yeah.
But also, I took 50 business cards out of me, and I've only got 20 left.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's 30 people that know who you are now. Yeah, but also like making repeat customers.
I love that.
Is really lovely.
I really love that. Yeah.
Like I said, like even if they don't buy at the market, they might buy in the future. But somebody might buy in the market and buy at the future.
Yeah.
Which is lovely.
I think, honestly, I said this last time I did a local market at Christmas.
Yeah.
People coming up to us and saying, I've shopped with you before, and it's so nice.
Such a nice feeling.
It's really
isn't it?
nice.
It's really cute. Even like they've bought from you at a market and then they'll buy from you online and a few months later and you think, they've thought about me today.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's so nice. We're easily pleased.
We are, yeah.
I think the most important thing as well, I don't know about you, but I hate setup at a market. Why is that not in cons?
Yeah, that should have been in cons. Sorry, yeah. Setting up your market stall and taking it down at the end of the day.
Oh my God,
soul
horrendous.
destroying.
Absolutely. I have had tantrums before setting up my stall, and again, it just brings out something in me that I didn't quite know existed.
Yeah, it's another person.
I have to go round and apologise to other traders sometimes because of the way.
I'm sorry for who I was when I was setting up the stall.
Honest to God, I've got like a disclaimer going, I'm really sorry for what you've just witnessed. It's not a true reflection of my
I will
character.
be nice for the rest of the day, I promise.
Like, oh my God. Again, that doesn't happen so much anymore because I'm in a routine with it now.
Yeah, but again, like another tip, when you start out, you will think, I can do that way quicker than you actually can. When I started, I was like, oh, I can get this set up in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, you think it's just a table full of stuff at the end of the day, but
it's not.
It's not. No, and time yourself before you do it so that you just know.
So you're much better at that than me because you do like mock setups and stuff. I don't. I just wing it. But
I'm only lucky to do that though because I've got a studio and communal spaces to do that. But I don't think most people probably have the space to do that.
No, I don't. But anyway, back to pros because that was
that
was a con and that was naughty of us.
I think the biggest pro for me, and I think there's no way to say this without sounding really smug.
Go on.
There just is, so I'm just gonna say it. Once I've got my stall set up in the morning, sometimes I look at it and I think, I am proud of myself.
Yeah.
I really like my stuff. I really like the way it looks, and
it's nice just getting to see it all in one space as well, isn't it?
I did this from scratch.
Yeah.
Not just the table, I mean.
Yeah, no, yeah,
like,
no.
The whole business.
Yeah, no, I completely get
oh,
what you
this
mean.
is mine, this is my baby.
It gives you some pride.
Yeah, it's how I imagine like mums feel with the kids.
Yeah. I imagine that's a very different feeling.
Do you know what I mean? Like, the same feeling I get when I look at my market stall is the same way that I imagine mums feel. You know when they take a picture of the kid like the first day of school?
Yeah.
It reminds me of that. I think it is.
Yeah, no, and it's nice just to, like, not even just you liking it, but, like, seeing other people like it.
Yeah.
Is fucking
it's a buzz.
lovely.
It's like an adrenaline thing as well. Like, it leaves you on such a high.
Yeah. And it's completely different to like selling online, because although I do get very excited, like if I get a sale online, but it's different like seeing them. They go through the thought process of like, oh, I want to buy something. What should I buy? Oh, I really like that. They'll often say that they like it.
Yeah, that's true. You actually see that like in front of you, whereas online you'd see.
I see what they bought.
Yeah, I see what they bought. Yeah. Saying that though, I do love an Etsy ka-ching.
Yeah, it's nice, and it's a nice feeling.
Anyway.
We will be doing an episode on selling online.
We will.
Very soon. So yeah, so if you're not a market person, then that one will be more for you, I reckon.
Hopefully you're enjoying this anyway though.
Yeah, hopefully we haven't scared you off from doing markets. So we've got another, not a question for the Q&A, but another like, can you talk about this please? So Little Art has asked, can we discuss must-haves? So she said when she started, she had to read like loads of articles on what equipment to buy and all that kind of stuff that I think if you don't do markets, you don't necessarily think about how much goes into that.
Yeah.
So when I started, I was fucking clueless.
It's hard.
It's
though.
really hard. Obviously, like then I had, because I'd never done markets, I didn't have market friends. So I had no one to ask that had already been in that situation. I just kind of slowly accumulated things.
Yeah.
Like I did a market and my store was shit, and I looked around and thought, oh, I could get that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it helps.
Like you get inspiration from the markets. But your first go doesn't need to be perfect at all.
No, I
like
look back at my
mine.
first stall now and I was so proud of it at the
Yeah.
time, but now I'm like, oh God.
That's shite.
Shite.
Yeah. Yeah, like both of us have been doing markets for years, and even now we'll still change things.
I think, honestly, I don't know if it's just my brain, but I have to from time to time. One, because the product range grows and I can't fit it all on anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
And two, because I get bored. I hate things looking stale.
Yeah. But like even that market that you came to with me and you weren't trading, but I was. So Ellie was really, really kind and she came to help me set up. But as she was doing it, she was like, this shouldn't go there. Or like, have you tried this there? Or that's not in the customer eye line. And things that I hadn't necessarily thought about because I'd just been used to doing it that way. You gave me like a fresh perspective.
Yeah.
But I think you were looking at it as more of a customer than as...
Yeah, and that is what you
as
need
me,
sometimes.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was really good to have you with me. Not that you're necessarily the solution to everything, but
What?
I would say try and look at it as a customer.
Yeah.
Like what's this missing?
Yeah, you have to sort of distance yourself from it in a way.
Yeah.
My main priority, and I am fussy with me.
You
I
are.
am.
Yeah, you
I
are.
am. But again, it's that sort of perfectionist thing.
Yeah.
But I want everything to be easily accessible,
Yeah.
really. I want everything out as well. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I've got 50 portraits in the range. I want to make sure that I have
Yeah.
got that with me. I want to make sure that my bestsellers can be seen. So on the display grids that I use, I want to make sure that they're out there using height as well. Because
Can we talk about those display grids, please? Because I think they're the best thing I've ever purchased.
I've got a love-hate relationship with
Oh,
them.
right. I just think they're so versatile. Like, if
They are.
If I was doing market must-haves, which is what she's asked for, I would say those grids are essential for us.
If you sell prints.
Well, I don't even put my prints on them. I use
Oh,
little
that's
hooks
true. Yeah, I
and
do for my key rings and magnets
you
as well,
can-
so I don't know why I'm saying that.
you can use them to put hooks on, and
Yeah.
you can make them into shelves.
We've
and-
not actually, but we've just said grids. If you go,
Explain what they are.
So they are on Amazon, and I hate like mentioning Amazon.
Giving money to the
I
corporations.
know, but I don't know anywhere else that does them
Yeah.
really. They are called shoe storage
Oh, okay.
units. They're usually around about 30 quid.
Yeah, but you can get like different,
Oh yeah, you can get
different sizes.
Different
and,
sizes, yeah, depending on how
like
many
yours
you
is black
need.
and mine's white. You can get different
Yeah.
colours.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're just so versatile. You can use them for pretty much anything.
Yeah, and they're not cheap, but they're definitely not expensive.
They're a good investment.
They're
I
a
would
good
say.
investment, yeah.
So that would be on my market must-haves
And
list.
they are quite sturdy as
Yeah.
long as you clamp them.
Yeah.
Oh, clamp.
We've learned that the hard way.
Yeah, we have. Clamps.
Yeah,
are an
clamps
absolute
are
must
another
for a
one.
market. I remember
Yeah.
the first time I did a market and someone at the studio said to me, "Have you bought clamps?" And I went, "Don't need fucking clamps." I did need clamps.
Yeah. I never had clamps until we met, and you were like, "You need clamps."
Yeah, I tell everybody I know.
Anyway,
A good tip that I would give as well is when you're looking for things to put on your table to display, look on things like Pinterest, look on other people's
Yeah.
Instagram and just take ideas. But also, when I first started doing markets, so what I used for my greetings cards, which was just like a little basket, I found it in the bathroom aisle in Sainsbury's and it was perfect.
Yeah, things are often
Yeah, and I
unexpected.
don't use them on my stall anymore, but they're still really useful for my studio just to divvy
Yeah.
up my greetings cards.
Yeah.
And I use the like little shelves, almost little shelves, little stands, something like that. But they basically, my prints will go on the table in boxes so that people can just flick through them. But then I have a few of my eye prints further up, and I use a little stand.
Yeah.
So that those prints can be seen
Yeah.
over the print boxes. I'm probably not
I think-
explaining this
no,
very
I
well,
think
but
you are. Like, different heights is very important.
yeah, but I got them. They are called kitchen shelf dividers.
Oh,
That's
okay.
all they are. And I just happened to see them in Costco one night and I was was like, oh my God, that is exactly what I've been after. And it's like one of the best things I've bought.
Go to the unexpected
places.
Just
keep an eye out when you're in supermarkets and things and shops. Just keep an eye out because there might be a use for something there.
No, definitely. I think that's a really good tip. Another thing that I would say is essential and has changed my life.
Oh, go on.
QR code.
Really?
Absolutely. I get so many followers at market since I got my QR code.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think that's because your audience is still probably a bit younger than mine? Because I've never noticed. I have got a QR code out.
Yeah.
I don't think many people
honestly,
use it.
this is really pathetic to admit, but I think my audience is younger and cooler than me.
Oh, right, okay.
So they're like, I didn't know what QR code was. All right. But like, they won't take a business card.
Really?
No. If they can't scan it on the phone, they're not interested.
Oh, gosh.
Majority, yeah.
I don't find that at all. Like I say, I've got a QR code on my table, but no, 9 times out of 10, it's if you got a business card and, I say, yeah, they're right there behind the QR code.
You stupid bitch.
They're easily visible. Put the QR code flat and then the business card's in a little holder.
Maybe you need your QR code more visible. Maybe I'll get more use. Maybe it is getting use and you just don't know.
Possibly.
But to be fair, like you said earlier, that we think the majority of your audience is a little bit older. And like my mum,
to do with it.
My mum doesn't know how to use your QR code.
Yeah, I don't, to be honest. I'm not even sure mine works.
Fuck off now. Maybe let's test that. But yeah, I'd say on it like that has really made a difference. But I think another important thing is your branding.
Yeah.
Because I know that's like not a market must-have, it's just a must-have in general. But it's massively helped me at markets. Like I will often hear people that I've met before say things like, "Oh, look, that pink girl's here." Do you know? Which is really cute.
Yeah.
But if they can spot you and recognise you instantly from your work or from your outfit or your whatever, that makes a huge difference at markets.
Yeah, I don't even think I've realised that before, but I do more locally than anything. I do tend to go, are you the portrait lady?
And you are?
They might be thinking of somebody else, but I mean, chances are.
Just say yeah. Get it. Get that work, girl.
But yeah, I always think that branding is...
It's important.
It's important, yeah. It's so your brand should have an identity, like whatever's going to stick in their head should reflect your business.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So like a nice banner maybe with your logo colour, get your logo colour out there a little bit more. Even sometimes for bigger markets, I will even have a logo t-shirt.
That's a good idea. Yeah, and then they can get you instantly. Card reader.
Of course.
So fucking important.
Yeah.
Nobody has cash anymore. Have you noticed that? I think like since COVID, no one wants
it's still
to
quite
touch
mixed, but again, that could be me having a slightly older market than you.
But I think like I have that gumball machine on my table and it physically takes a £1 coin and nobody ever has a £1 coin.
Really?
Yeah, so I have to make sure I have loads of £1 coins.
Suppose there's no need for cash though these days.
No.
But that again, that's another...
Yeah, that's another thing. But yeah, so card machine definitely. Change. Business cards.
Always.
QR code potentially. Lunch.
I don't, my diet is absolutely awful at markets.
It really stresses me out that you don't take lunch.
It's bad. It's literally Lucozade and Frutella.
I don't know how you get through the day.
I always wear something with like loads of pockets on and people go, oh, that's a good idea at markets, and it's not. It's just so that my sweets are easily accessible.
That's a good tip. But no, I think especially like if you're doing a market at a venue that doesn't serve food or if you're doing it by yourself, if you're not taking someone with you, you can't necessarily leave your stall to go and buy food. So yeah, I always try and take lunch with me and drinks, and I also always take painkillers.
Oh yes.
Just in case.
That's why one pocket sweets, one pocket painkillers.
Portable charger?
Yes, loads. If you've got a shit phone like me.
Yeah. Something to do.
Oh, see, I saw you because we have notes in front of us here, believe it or not. And me and Jade both edit like a shared file online, and sometimes I can see what Jade's writing and I'm like, this is so weird because sometimes our views match and sometimes they're completely different as well. And when you put something to do, I was like, what? Explain what you mean.
So I don't really do it now. Like if I know that you're going to be there or another of our friends going to be there, I don't bother taking it because I'm like, I'm not going to get anywhere done because I won't shut the fuck up.
Oh, right.
But a market that I know, I'm like, I don't know anyone necessarily.
Yeah.
I will take like some sewing to do or a sketchbook.
Really?
I just think like if you're on your phone, say. So I think if you're not doing anything and you just sat behind your stall, it's a bit intimidating to customers. It kind of puts them off because they're like, oh my God, she's going to talk to me. And they might not necessarily want to talk to you.
Yeah.
But I think then the alternative, if you haven't took anything, is you're on your phone. And that's a bit off-putting as well because then you look like you're just not fucking interested. But yeah, so I take something to do so that I don't look too involved in the customer, but I also don't look like I don't give a shit. But it also gives them a chance to see what you're doing. And maybe talk about it.
No, I got told that in Young Traders as well, that it's a really good idea to have something to do.
Yeah.
But obviously with me and it being charcoal drawings.
Yeah, it's a bit much, isn't it? So that's what I meant by taking something with you to do.
Stop interrogating you now,
shall I? Thank you. I think I've explained myself pretty well. But also, taking a person with you could be handy.
Just a random person.
No, like a friend. Like sometimes Kyle will come with me, or like you've come with me before if you've not been trading. And it's good because like not only does it give that perspective that we were talking about earlier of them seeing your stall and giving you tips and things, but it also like it means you can go for a wee.
Yeah.
It means you can
that's true.
Go and get food or take a little break or have a look around the market.
Yeah.
All those kind of things.
I get what you mean, like having somebody with you, like just it's more going for a wee, I think that's just important thing.
Because you never want to leave your store because you're like, the second I go, I could make a sale.
Not only that, but like your cash box and things.
This is true,
you know.
yeah. But that's another reason why it's important to make friends with your neighbours.
Yeah, it is actually, yeah.
You know what that noise means, Ellie?
Oh, Jade, does that mean it's time for our Q&A?
It does! So, we have got questions today. We've got 2 to answer today. So, for those of you that might not have listened before, we do a little Q&A at the end of every episode where we'll answer a couple of questions from our Instagram followers. Yeah.
Yay.
Anything else you want to add to that?
Not really.
Okay.
I think you've said everything.
So today, do you want me to ask the first one?
Go ahead.
So Peach Swizzle has asked, so I've tried to keep today's ones quite on theme with the market episode.
Yeah.
So Peach Swizzle has asked, why are markets so shit now compared to a couple of years ago? And I feel like we've got a lot to say about this.
I feel like we have, yeah. I feel like, didn't that comment get an awful lot of likes as well?
Do you want to start out or should I start?
Yeah, it's one of them. It's something that I think we have both noticed, haven't we? And it's something that we've whinged about to each other before as well. I know we have. But I would say in terms of sales, things do feel slightly different compared to 21, 22.
Shitter. Is that the word you're looking for?
Positivity, Jade.
Okay, yeah.
Things do feel slightly different. But I think I started trading, I can only speak for myself here, at quite a pivotal time. So by the time I'd started trading, some people were very nervous still about lockdown, things like that. And I'm not even sure the indoor markets were even fully allowed yet when I started out. But I think there was a little bit of a boost after that.
Yeah.
So
people
end of
wanted to
21,
get out there
start of
and-
22, I think people were just feeling really happy to be at the house again and go to these things. So
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
there was definitely a bit of a boost then. Now, in terms of the way things were pre-COVID, so like 2019 and before that, I have no idea. I wasn't trading.
Yeah, see, I was, but my business was a lot different.
Yeah.
So it's hard to gauge. But I think generally the markets that I did pre-COVID were busier.
Really?
But there wasn't as many.
Yeah, that's
So-
true as well. Yeah, that's another point.
I think, so generally, I think I do agree with this question. But maybe look at the markets that you're doing because maybe they're not the right audience for you, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And like I said, like there are a lot more markets now, so maybe you need to be pickier with the ones that you're applying for.
Yeah, it could be totally different for anybody, depending on the circumstances. But for me, it is that thing of, I know when I did, I don't know if I should name the market, fuck it, I'm going to Craft and Flow. I remember feeling really, really excited in the lead up, but then also finding out on the day that there was about 3 other big markets in town that day.
Yeah. And it's like that most times we do a
I
market
think
now.
Albert Dock Makers Market was on. Like, what's that? Only round the corner from Compton Furnace.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's like this all over the country, but Liverpool certainly, there is a lot more markets than
I'd
there used to be,
imagine, I
think.
don't know, but I would imagine that it's the same
Yeah,
all over.
I think it is. I think now, especially because everyone, again, I don't want to bring everything back to COVID, but it was such a pinnacle point in our businesses.
That was the starting point,
Yeah.
man, yeah.
I think since COVID, everyone kind of, a lot more people have like a side hustle.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And
You had to.
maybe there's more call for markets now, but again, that narrows down the customers that are coming to your
Yeah.
market. Because if there's 4 on in town on the same day, are they going to do a market crawl? I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like if I'm visiting a market, I plan to go there.
Yeah.
I'm not doing a market crawl. There's one specific
Yeah,
market
I want
that
to
I
go
want to
there,
go
yeah.
to, whether that be for whatever reason, I just want to do a bit of shopping, I've got friends there, whatever,
Yeah.
it is usually that reason.
Yeah.
I will say as well that there's things that are completely beyond our control. Cost of living crisis.
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
There's
No
shit,
one's
but
got any fucking
No one's
money.
got any fucking money. And how positive.
But it's true.
No, but I do genuinely believe, because I don't want to get political, but when Liz Truss crashed the economy in like day 2
Awkward.
of the a little bit tense.
Liz, if you're listening.
Hi, how's it going?
But yeah.
You know when you think things can't get
Yeah.
much worse,
And then they
Well,
do.
Do they?
I don't
But
know.
I honestly do feel like we're in a position, and I'm showing where I stand politically. I do think things will get better in the next few years.
I'm inclined to agree with you.
You've got to believe that, really. haven't
Yeah,
you?
I mean, I'm not overly optimistic, but I'm hopeful. If
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
yeah. I've even put in the notes, I think this might be blind optimism, but
I mean, maybe.
it could be. But I feel like you've got to have that attitude. If you think things are going to
Yeah.
get worse, who does it help,
What's
really?
the point?
Yeah.
Just close your business.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand definitely traders having a bit of a bitch and a moan with each other, absolutely. And to some extent, this is absolutely
This is what the
this is
podcast
for. But also the ones that you just think, I've never heard you say anything, even semi-positive once in your life. And I always think, are you here?
Yeah. Well, yeah, if you don't love it in at least one way, what's the point?
What's the point?
Yeah.
Life's too short.
Yeah.
We all die in the end.
Exactly. So do something nice while you're here.
Do something for yourself.
Yeah, and if it's not markets, don't do them.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think generally speaking, I do agree with Ellie. Like, I do think hopefully it will pick up over the next few years. But in the meantime, my advice would be have a look at the markets you're doing. Choose them more wisely. Yeah, like if you're ex-gothy, apply for alt markets. If you do fan art, apply for Comic-Cons. Do you know what I mean? Like, so her actual question was, why are markets so shit now? I would say the actual answer to that is cost of living, if I had to pinpoint it.
Yeah.
So our next question, this 50-something life has asked, how do you decide how much stock to take to your first market?
I would like to take this opportunity. This 50-something life also has an arty Instagram page called Crafty Paint Pot, and she's very, very good. And I don't think she believes how good she is.
Do you know her?
I do. She's Lorraine. She's lovely.
Oh, wow.
And Crafty Paint Pot.
Oh, that's cute. Shout out.
Have a look on Instagram.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so cute. So yeah, how did we decide how much stock to take to your first market?
I'm interested to see, because you've had things to say about my stock levels before.
You've had things to say about mine? So you actually,
go first, then.
You completely changed my way of doing it.
Oh, okay. Go on.
So to answer the question, my first market, I didn't regulate my stock. I just took everything I had because I hardly had anything.
Fair enough.
And that kind of carried on even when I did have stuff.
Yeah.
I think until we met, I took all my stuff.
I didn't know how much influence I had.
Oh, so much. I'm
business.
so easily influenced by you. Honestly, you've changed my life. No, but seriously, like before we met, every single market, I took all my stock.
Yeah.
Everything I'd made, everything I owned.
Yeah.
And can you imagine, like, I suffer with back pain. I have to get taxis.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how much the tax drivers hated me? Thank you. Me just passenger princess waiting in the back while he loads the boot up.
Running over your foot on the way home.
No, but I really did. I took everything because I was like, oh, I might sell. I've never sold one of them, but I might sell 12 today. Who knows?
Yeah.
And then Ellie came along and she was like, you're never going to sell 12. Bring 3.
Yeah. Fair enough. I have had things to say about your stock levels. That's so horrible as well. You are never going to sell 12.
But you're right. I'm not. You've changed my life. But you have, like, you've made the process of it so much easier because I was like, and not even just that, like, because I don't know why this thought was in my head, but I was also like, not only do you have to bring everything, you have to put everything out.
Yeah.
Why was I putting everything out? Put stuff onto your stall.
Yeah.
I didn't do that.
Oh my gosh,
I
yeah.
put everything out. Don't know why.
One thing that I hate with any sort of market display, you know, if I'm going through like somebody's print box, and I know we're like relating this back to
You're
prints
thinking
a
of
lot.
mine, aren't you, though?
I'm not.
You are? I can tell now.
Let me
Just
finish.
say it. Say it how it is. When I'm going through Jade's print box.
No, actually, this came up with the studio because I think through me being pushy, really, we've started doing more like markets, more sort of pop-up stuff, and going through print boxes. And say if I'm flicking through as a customer, again, putting yourself into the customer's shoes.
Yeah.
I've seen one print and think, oh, that's nice, and then I just see the same print over and over again. So duplicates is what I'm getting at.
I know you
Take them out.
I know.
Take them out. Because also it's...
Just so the listeners are aware, Ellie is staring into my soul as she's saying this.
No, what was I saying? Yeah, so duplicates I personally don't like because I, as a customer, would get bored if I'd seen the same print too many times and I'd just stop looking before I got to the back.
Yeah, that's
But also, if somebody sees something that they like, say, again, a print, and they've also seen that you've got 4 of them in the exact same print, the exact same size in that box, they're more inclined not to buy it on the spot because they think, she's got loads, I'll come back.
Yeah.
And you want their sales then and there.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
Yeah, so have one out, lead them to believe you've only got one.
Low in stock.
Even if you've got a full box of spares under the table.
You're a clever girl.
I am.
Yeah.
Devious.
Yeah.
Sneaky.
I like it. I like it. But that honestly completely changed the way that I did things because I was literally taking bags and bags and boxes and now I take like 3 boxes and that's it.
Yeah, you do pack quite light, don't you?
Because of you?
I don't.
No, you don't, to be fair. Practice what you preach. You don't pack light at all.
No, I'll tell you what I do. So the thing is with my stock as well, as I say, I've got about 50 portraits in the range now and I sell them in 5 different size prints. I also sell them in key rings, I sell them in stickers and I sell them in French magnets.
That's the, not, I was going to say problem. That's not the problem. That is why, like, you don't take duplicates, but you do. By the time you've got one of everything, you've got 50 designs. That's 50 A4 prints, 50 A3, so on.
Yeah,
that's a
literally
lot
50
of
12 by
stock.
12, 58 by 8,
Yeah.
58 by 10. It's a huge box just of prints.
Mm.
But I will take one of each in the size prints, but I might take a box of spares, just a small box of spares.
Okay.
So, for example, my largest size of, say, the David Bowie print, if I do a big market, I can expect that I might sell more than one of them.
Right, okay.
So I will.
So you know your best sellers.
I know my best. More the classic people. So like your David Bowie, your Beatles, Freddie Mercury. You know, things like that.
Yeah.
Just ones that I know. You know, usually they're popular online as well. Or I know what's popular by now and to know what to take a bit more of. But in general, it's usually about 2 each of the key rings, 2 each of the magnets. Stickers, I'm not so fussed of. I will just shove a load into the box. I don't really go through thingy counting them really or anything. But for prints, it pretty much has to be one of each. It has to be. I'd have box upon box upon box if I was taking more consistent multiples.
So the question was...
We're always going back to
no, we're
this.
naughty, aren't we? The question was, how much first market, how much do you know? See, I don't think you do. I don't think there's any way to know that. But you are good at being like, don't take too many. So how many roughly? If you had to put a number on it to give advice, how much would you say to take of each?
Well, actually, it depends on your business as well.
This is true.
So, what it's worth doing, and I actually did this my first market as well, even though my first market was free, I actually counted the total revenue of if I completely sold out.
Oh, I love that.
So it's worth, because say if you're selling something like, I don't know, ceramics or something where you won't have loads, but just count up. If you sold out, how much would you make?
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
And when you're happy with that number, you don't need to take any more stuff.
Yeah. But, just like a little bit, just have that number gauge.
Yeah.
So, if you count up your stock and you go, I've got 20 grand's worth of products here.
Yeah, probably taking too much.
Probably downsize.
But
whereas
if you count it and you're
and go,
a fiver, probably take a bit more.
No, but if you count it and like say 200, 300, 400, you might, oh no, I need a bit more than that.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I think, you are right. Like, it is subjective to the business.
It is.
And it's also subjective to the market.
Yeah.
Like that market I was talking about before that I thought was going to be massive. I made double the amount of stock.
Yeah.
And okay, that didn't pay off.
Yeah.
But if you know that you're doing a big market or...
Yeah, exactly.
It's somewhere that's probably going to have good
depending on
footfall.
Yeah.
But I think there's no harm, especially when you're starting out, if you take too much.
No, there isn't. I took way too much in my first one. I think most people do.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it because you can leave stuff off your table if you take too much, but if you don't take enough, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, this is the thing,
Can't
isn't
pull
it?
things out of thin
There's
air.
always enough space under your table
Yeah.
to just stock a few extras.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you say, if you don't have it, you don't have it. There's literally nothing you can do about that.
No. So my advice would be, for your first market, take as much as you can carry.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no harm in having too much.
Yeah, but you'll even after one market, I think you sort of gauge an idea of what sells.
Absolutely. I think one is all it takes to know roughly how much you need to take to the next one.
And have a notebook, write down so you know what's selling.
Yeah, you'll know what your best sellers are.
That wasn't the question. I just thought it's like
no, you are right. No, you are right though, because although it's not helpful for your first market, it's helpful for your second market.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
because
I'm constantly going back through my notebook just to make reference of what.
Top tip: take a notebook. So I think that's pretty much it for today. Unless there's anything else you can think of.
I don't know. There probably is, but it'll probably be like 5 minutes after we finish recording.
We'll do another episode on markets.
I think we've just got way
future,
too much. Even already, we're like sort of interrupting each other to get our bits,
and we
like,
keep having to be like, no, get back to what we're talking about.
Like going off tangents.
So we will definitely do more market episodes.
And let us know as well if you are a market trader or if markets are something that you're thinking about getting into.
Yeah.
As I say, any questions, any queries, anything like that.
Yeah, especially if you've got more specific questions, like if you're worried, like Ali said, like if you haven't done market yet and you're planning to and you're really worried or nervous about something, like get in touch, because even if you don't want to be on the podcast, get in touch with us. Like it's just handy to hear from someone that's already done it, isn't it? And get that perspective and that.
And plus we know how nerve-wracking
oh my God, yeah, we were terrified.
We get it at the end of the day, we do get
absolutely. So reach out and we'll be your friends.
Yeah.
So that's it for today. Please join us next time. In 2 weeks, we'll be talking about support networks and we'll be joined by our friend Sass from Sassy Makes.
Our very first guest.
Our very first guest. So I share my red brick shop of space with her, and Ellie.
I actually share my studio with her.
We both know her really well. The conversation's going to be deep and in depth.
Loud.
It is going to be loud. Sass is warning from the next episode. Sass is very loud. But we're really excited to have her join us, and we'll be talking about support networks, friendships, all that kind of stuff. So we'll see you in 2 weeks. In the meantime, don't forget to give us a follow on Instagram. You can find us at Really Fucking Trying, and you can also message us if you've got questions, if you've got topics you'd like us to talk about. Our DMs are always open. Comment on a post, anything you want.
Comment on any post
either.
It doesn't matter.
We'll find it.
We don't care.
We'll get a notification.
Yeah.
And if you fancy joining us for a chat on the podcast, there's an application form in our bio, and we can either do that by having you in the studio with us, or we can do it through Zoom.
Eventually.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.